Good morning, beautiful lovelies. Today I'm going to have an electrician out here and the utility to install a 400 amp service, upgrading from my existing 200 amp service. Actually, it's technically a bifurcated 300 amp service, but it's on a 200 amp meter can. Don't really understand how they got away with that in the first place. My wife is outside getting the donkey set up so that when the people come in, we can just lock the gate open. That way, if they're coming and going, it won't matter. CJ is anxiously awaiting their arrival. He has no idea they're coming. I already have the meter can. The Preco, my utility, gave me the meter can, which was nice of them. I asked them, hey, do you have a spec for the meter can that you want for a 400 amp service? They were like, we got one in the yard, we'll just give it to you. I was like, all right, yeah. So I already have that. They're going to supply 2 exterior disconnects. That's a requirement in Manatee County, Florida, that you have emergency exterior disconnects. That way, if you have like a fire or anything, first responders can access and cut off the power. So there will be 2 emergency exterior disconnects that lead to 2 interior bifurcated 200 amp panels. And then the utility will be replacing my 15 kVA transformer with a 25 kVA transformer and trenching 350 kc mil underground to my new service setup. Very excited about it.
The fellas have arrived, and good Lord, are there a lot of fellas. Did not anticipate 2 bucket trucks and a van with an excavator. I mean, I expected the excavator, but not 2 bucket trucks.
Now I get to be the guy making awkward YouTube videos while people are working. Here's the Kubota. I wish I had that. I make YouTube videos. Is it okay if I film y'all?
I don't care.
Yeah, I do a bunch of work on the property.
Take my shirt off, so,
He's not gonna do that, I promise, don't worry. All right, we stood around bullcrapping for a minute, but they're gonna get started digging. Look at the guy smiling. He's the one that said he's gonna take his shirt off. Sushi's over here having fun. They're getting everything prepped. Sharpening their shovels. I ain't never seen that before. He's out there with an angle grinder, sharpening his shovel, getting ready to do some hand digging. Never thought about that before. Gleason, good to see you again. This is Gleason. He's with American Pride Electric. If this goes well, this will be an advertisement for him. If it doesn't go well, then you probably won't see that part. They're out here pulling the wire. This is the utility, Preco, pulling the wire through the flexible conduit that they use. It's 350 kc mil. They're pulling through the conduit. This guy's starting the trenching. They have to dig 3 feet down. They're gonna change out the change out the transformer up there, come down the pole with the secondary, take it back to the house. Real excited. Probably not gonna have power for most of the day. Also, I took off work. I was gonna be working, but I saw how many people came out here, and I don't know, I didn't think ahead on how much input they were gonna need, so I just took the day off and helping out here. So what they're doing right now, they're trenching with this excavator. They're having to get around all these roots. He's having a time of it, but it's going all right. They have to trench 3 feet down. That's the spec that they require. They're running, this is the secondary, so this will be pulled off. The primary wire comes in. They'll go into the new 25 kVA transformer. They'll pull the secondary, run it down the pole, trench it 3 feet all the way to the new meter base over there. And hopefully it takes less than a day, but I don't think it will. I think it'll be a 2-day job for the electrician. These guys will be finished in a day as long as the ground cooperates with them. But right now they're already got the PVC. They run flex conduit for the underground. This is the stuff that the 350 kc mil is in, and then they transition to rigid PVC bell end and run it up the pipe, or run it up the pole rather. And they're just securing that pole right now. And then eventually once they get that up there, they'll change out the transformer. So this is B phase. I'm not going to tell you what feeder it is, even though I know, because you little gremlins will try and do something at the substation. He's rigging up the old transformer to the material handler, called a jib by this man, Mike. Pulling down the old 15 kVA can. Other apprentice over here is working on getting the bushings attached to the new 25 kVA can. Quite a bit bigger than the old one. Same voltage rating, just a larger amperage rating. You know, it's obviously going to be primary to secondary voltage. That's not going to change. The primary voltage coming in, the secondary voltage coming out is going to be the exact same thing. Just the rating of the transformer for the amperage that it can safely pass through. And the old can is unloaded. Bottom left guy is the journeyman on the crew. 2 guys in the one in the bucket, one on the truck right now. They are the apprentices, and then the foreman over there is one digging.
Mr. Apprentice is raising the new 25 kVA can up. It's fancy looking, a lot better looking than the other one. This one will have a cutout switch on it, as the other one didn't. If you wanted to have an open point for like a clearance or something, they would have to go all the way back 3/4 of a mile that way up the line and open up the cutout on the B phase at the pole at the road over there. But they'll install a cutout switch on this one if they ever need to come out and pull it with a hot stick to do work. But yeah, I'd say it's going pretty well so far. This guy in the excavator is finally beating some of that really hard dirt that we were talking about. You got this dirt that's like sand, and then you got this stuff that's just big old this is not a rock. This is just hard dirt. Can't even break it apart by kicking it. It's just all that is real hard dirt. That's what Draco had trouble digging out the other day. Well, we unfortunately found the side of my septic tank down here. That would be my septic tank with a hole in it that I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with. But luckily I got two guys with shovels instead of just me and Draco with a shovel. I gotta fix that septic tank. They gave me this patch thing, and then I talked to the guy that actually installed the septic tank, and I think he's going to find me some sort of epoxy material to put over it. But, you know, there's always a snafu that creates more work. But it's going pretty good so far. Not upset about it. This is what we got so far. I'm very glad I hired these fellas to do this because this looks a lot better than what I would have come up with. The sun is heating up out here, but luckily they have moved inside. You got your ground wire that goes down to one of your ground rods, and then your second ground rod about 6 feet in between the two, both connected by the same wire. You got your bifurcated wires coming out of the secondary of the meter can, going to both your main exterior emergency disconnects. So it's blue because it's double tapped off these lugs down here, so you have to label them color wise to know which ones they're going to. And then you got obviously the neutral coming off neutral. The neutral is bonded to the meter can, and then it's also bonded through the connection between the neutral and the can on these sides. So now they're working on the inside, and I got the time lapse set up in there. Ain't that just pretty? Don't you just love some good workmanship? Shout out to American Pride, doing a good job. Holla at your boys if you need electrical services in the Manatee County area. These are technically considered sub panels because the main emergency disconnects are outside, and that's where the main bonding between ground and neutral is. So they're installing separated grounds. I guess this one will go right here. Separated grounding bus bars, so that's where the grounds will land on the panels on the inside, because you can only have one bond between neutral and ground in a subsystem, and that is happening at these exterior disconnects here. Here is the 350 kc mill in the flexible conduit, transition to hard bell end PVC supplied by the utility. They'll lock that into the meter can, feed it up and into the line side lugs, and we'll have the power. I think the transformer was leaking some oil, so they got one of the more experienced guys up there checking on it. All right, the inspector guy just left, Preco just left. Here's what the outside looks like. Meter can, emergency disconnect, feeder cable running back up to the transformer on the pole, ground wire, and then Mr. Gleavison in here is wiring up some panels, having some fun. It's his favorite time of the day, panel wiring time. Mr. Gleeveson is in here going the extra mile. It's about 5 o'clock. He should probably be headed home right now, but we only got a little bit left to do. A few more circuits left to wire in. When I say we, I mean him, because he's doing 100% of the work. I'm just handing him stuff when I can. Everything looks fantastic. I can't recommend these guys enough. Which one you want? You want the mini split? Okay, here, let me take that down. So that one's good to be wired in. Double pole 20 amp. I was helping him grab the mini split wire. So see, I have helped a little bit. Not much, but whenever he needs it, I'll hand him something. Everything that they've done looks absolutely incredible. It's way better than I would have done it. I mean, look at this. This is just beautiful. Preco did a great job coming out here, other than hitting the septic tank, and that honestly wasn't on them. That was on me for not giving them better direction on where to dig. I didn't realize the tank was that wide in that location. So I'm going to have to fix that. They did give me like a little fiberglass patch thing that I'm going to try and JB weld over it. So I'm going to heat it up, kind of pop it back out, put that patch on it, then JB weld all around it, and then let that harden up and then backfill over the top of it. But Gleeveson is Leeveson. We got some trash out here. We're going to clean that up tomorrow. He's got to come back tomorrow. He's got to bring a couple of surge protectors and a couple of tandem breakers that we had to finagle. Here's what she looks like, man. They did a bang-up job. Preco did a good job, other than my bad directions of telling them to accidentally slap my septic tank with the mini excavator. Again, I feel like that's mostly on me, and I'm going to fix it. I feel like most people, if that happened, they would like blame the utility and tell them they had to make it right. But, I mean, I kind of directed them where I thought everything was. Honest to God, I did not think that septic tank stuck out that far to that side. But unfortunately it did. It got nicked. We'll get it fixed. New 25 kVA can, secondary coming down the pole into the PVC, 3-foot underground trenched all the way to the new 400 amp service. Woo! That way we can run sub panels to the barn, power to all the places. 400 amps is a lot of amps for a residential house that has no 3-phase loads or anything. So I'm pretty excited about it. Everything's running. You can see the mini split spinning. That's a good thing. That means the power's on. It's already nice and cool inside. I have a fuse jack now, whereas I did not have one before, so that's always nice. But if anything happens and it pops, it'll sound like a shotgun right out here instead of down by the road. But yeah, Gleeveson will be back out tomorrow. I don't know if I'll video any of that because there's nothing really to show. Gonna have to fix that at some point. So, new 25 kVA transformer, 350 kc mil wire, trenched all the way to right here into the top of the new meter base. Meter remained the same. Then we have, I believe, 3/0 copper to each disconnect, and that's 3 separate 3/0 copper because you have 2 hots and a neutral coming in the top. You have 2 hots and a neutral coming out the bottom. You also have your ground wire connected between the two. Then you have your 3/0 copper coming in, connecting in the top here for your 2 hots and your neutral on each. These are both 200 amp panels. And then we have circuits with plenty of room to expand. And this is a knockout because they have to put a surge protector up here. That's part of what he's bringing tomorrow. Super cool, super exciting. See you next time.